Let us come back to our De Moivre theorem. De Moivre theorem is one of the best tools with the help of which one can find out the powers and roots and can evaluate various other simple proof, left hand side equal to right hand side like questions. Okay, the De Moivre's theorem, a powerful tool for any rational number n value or one of the value of cos of theta plus I sin theta raised to power n is equals to cos of n theta plus I sin of n theta. Note that here the power was n, but here this power has been converted into angle multipliers, and these angles we can easily evaluate. This n can be positive, this n can be negative, this n can be positive value, this n can be a negative, or this n can be a fraction also. This n can be a fraction also. Now, where do we find the applications of De Moivre theorem? The first application, we want to evaluate the higher powers of z. Z is the complex number, where z is our complex number. He may ask you z raised to power 10, z raised to power 5, z raised to power 20 and so on, anything. Any high power that is easily evaluated with the help of this De Moivre theorem. Second application is to solve simple proof based questions, left hand side, right hand side like that. And then the third application is to find out the complex roots. Here in this lecture, we will discuss the first two in this lecture, and this to find out complex root we will discuss in our next lecture. Okay, so let us go for first question. And before going to first question, remember this power n will become angle multiplier. This will become angle multiplier. Okay, now let us go for our first question. That is, he has given us one question, z equals to 1 plus I raised to power 4. Note that this number is in standard form. This number is in standard form. So first we will go for polar form. First step is go for polar form, and for that let z1 equals to 1 plus I. Okay, when you compare it with the standard form z equals to x plus iy, this gives you x is 1, y is 1. So r equal to under root x square plus y square. This becomes 1 square plus 1 square, and this is equals to under root 2. And theta is equals to tangent inverse y by x equals to tangent inverse 1 by 1, and theta is equals to pi by 4. Every time we need a polar form, we need the value of r and theta. We need modulus. This one is our modulus and this one is our argument. Note that x and y both are positive value. So your number is lying in first quadrant. This is real z, imaginary z. So our number, our argument, that will be equals to pi by 4. So the polar form is z equals to, now z1 is equals to r cos theta plus I sin theta. Z1 is equals to, where r is under root 2, theta is pi by 4, cos of pi by 4 plus I sin of pi by 4. So here the first step is completed. That was our to raise to the power n. So let us go for the next question. Next step rather. We will go for the second step, step 2. Now we will raise power. Our number is z1 is equals to under root 2 cos of pi by 4 plus I sin of pi by 4. Okay, so raise both sides. Raise power to 4 both sides. What will you get? We get z1 raised to power 4 equals to root 2 cos pi by 4 plus I sine of pi by 4. Entire is in bracket and then raised to power 4. So z1 raised to power 4 is equal to say z. Then z equals to root 2 raised to power 4 and then cos of pi by 4 plus I sine of pi by 4 raised to power 4. So z is equals to root 2 raised to power 4, root 2 into root 2. This is equals to 4. So we can write here 4 and then here we will use de Moivre theorem. Cos of pi by 4 into 4 plus I sine of pi by 4 into 4. We have to note down these steps. See, this power r is getting multiplied here with the angle. And now it will disappear from this place. Okay. So z1 raised to power 4 or z raised to power 4, it is equals to 4 cos pi, this 4 and 4 will cancel, cos pi plus I sine of pi. Okay, and cos pi is equals to minus 1 and sine pi equals to 0. Using this, so z1 raised to power 4 is equals to 4 minus 1 plus I into 0. So z1 raised to power 4 is equals to minus 4. Okay, so this is what we have evaluated. That the question was, they have asked you to evaluate z raised to power 4 and or this is equals to 1 plus I raised to power 4. When the power 4 is evaluated of 1 plus I raised to power 4, it will give you minus 4. So this solves our first question. Let us go for the second question. The more we practice, the more better we get. In maths, we need more and more practice. Just by seeing the things, nothing get clear. So you have to go for practice. So in the second question, what we have now, in the second question, again we are given the number. Again, we have standard form. Again we have standard form z equals to x plus iy, which gives x is equals to half and y equals to under root 3 by 2. So r is equals to under root x square plus y square is equals to under root half square plus root 3 by 2 square. So this becomes under root 1 by 4 plus 3 by 4. So r equals to 1. Okay. Now we have to evaluate the argument. Tangent theta equals to y by x, or theta is equals to tangent inverse y is root 3 by 2, x is 1 by 2, and this gives you theta equals to pi by 3. Okay. So the polar form is z is equals to r cos theta plus I sin theta. Substitute the values. 1 cos pi by 3 plus I sin of pi by 3. This is the step 1 completed. Step 1 completed. Okay. Now after the step 1, we will go for the step 2. In step 2, what we have to do, let us go for step 2. In the step 1, we have evaluated. This is our step 2 now. In step 1, we have found out that z is equals to 1 cos of pi by 3 plus I sin of pi by 3. So I am writing z is equals to 1 cos of pi by 3 plus I sin of pi by 3. Now, which power we have to calculate? We have to evaluate z cube. Okay. So let us go for raise the power to cube on both sides. So z cube is equals to 1 cos of pi by 3 plus I sin of pi by 3 entire is in bracket and here cube. So z cube is equals to 1 cube cos of pi by 3 plus I sin of pi by 3 and this 3. Okay. Z cube is equals to cos of pi by 3 into 3 plus I sin of pi by 3 into 3. This power is now becoming the angle multiplier here. So let us evaluate. Z cube is equals to now cos pi plus I sin of pi. Z cube is equals to cos pi, we know it is equals to minus 1, sin pi equals to 0. So now here what we can write? Z equals to minus 1 plus I into 0. So Z cube is equals to minus 1, step 2 completed. Okay, step 2 is completed. So we can make a summary here. What summary? To raise power. What to do? What to do? One thing is first polar form. First is polar form. Second is raising power. Second one is raising power. Third one is use of De Moivre theorem as we have used here. Use of De Moivre's theorem. Substitute values and get answer. So okay, so to raise power, to evaluate powers, it's a 3-step procedure. First step 1 is to find the polar form. Step 2 is to raise the power. Step 3 is use of De Moivre theorem. So here I must write step 3. I forgot to write here. So I am writing here now. It is our step 3 here. This is our step 3. Use of De Moivre's theorem. Okay, this was our step 2. Raising the powers. Raising the powers. And here from where we have started, this x equals to half, y equals to root 3 by 2. This is our step 1. Finding polar form. So to finding, it is finding polar form. Hope the question and the way how to solve this is clear to you. Let us revise once again, then we'll go for another type. You are given a complex number, mostly in standard form, Cartesian coordinates, rectangular form, and he asks you to find z cube. He may ask you to find z30, z10, z100, any power it can be. So what you have to do? First you have to find the polar form. We have done this calculation of polar form many times. Again, let us see once more. You will compare the number with the standard form z equals to x plus iy. You will find the value of x, you will find the value of y, x and y. You will find the value r. R is known as our modulus. You will find the value of modulus, and once the modulus is known, then you will find the value of argument. Argument theta, formula is tangent inverse y by x, and you have to calculate the things very carefully. Here our number x is positive, imaginary part of z is positive, so number lies in the first coordinate. I always check the Argand diagram to check your principal argument. So our argument is correct. Our argument is correct. Argument theta can have value 0 to pi, or it can have value from 0 to minus pi. Remember this thing, otherwise it will become difficult. Okay, you will follow the step, even then you will forget that what was the argument. If the argument is wrong, the entire things will go wrong. ठीक है. सो पहले स्टेप में हमने क्या किया है? पोलर फॉर्म निकाली है. पोलर फॉर्म निकालने के लिए हमें मॉडुलस चाहिए था. आर्गुमेंट चाहिए था, मॉडुलस पता किया, आर्गुमेंट पता किया और हमने स्टैंडर्ड फॉर्मूला था, वी हैव सब्स्टिट्यूटेड दैट वैल्यूज, तो हमें z की वैल्यू मिल गई है cos ऑफ पाई बाई 3 प्लस आई साइन ऑफ पाई बाई 3। और एक बार हमें पोलर फॉर्म मिली तो सेकंड हमारा स्टेप, हमारा एम क्या है, हमें क्यूब निकालना है, z रेज टू पावर क्यूब, हमें पोलर फॉर्म नहीं निकालनी है, इट इज जस्ट द इंटरमीडिएट स्टेप, सो इट वाज द स्टेप 1। देन वी गो फॉर द सेकंड स्टेप, वी रेज द पावर्स, सेकंड स्टेप इज रेज द पावर्स, क्यूब फाइंड आउट करना है तो दोनों तरफ मैंने क्यूब किया है, 10th पावर करनी है तो यहाँ 10 करेंगे, 20 है तो 20 करेंगे, 100 है तो 100 करेंगे। और जब हम क्यूब करेंगे तो ये याद रखना है कि जो यहाँ पर r की वैल्यू है, जो हमारा मॉडुलस है, उसका भी क्यूब करना है, वो हमें भूलना नहीं है क्योंकि ज्यादातर गलती वही हो जाती है। देन cos पाई बाई 3 प्लस आई साइन पाई बाई 3। स्टेप 3 हमें डिमोवियर थ्योरम यहाँ पे लगानी है। डिमोवियर थ्योरम में क्या है, पावर जो है, डिमोवियर थ्योरम में क्या है, ये जो पावर है आपके पास, ये क्या बन गई है आपके पास, एंगल मल्टीप्लायर बन गई है। ये क्या बन गई है, एंगल मल्टीप्लायर बन गई है, दोनों में, रियल में भी और इमेजिनरी में भी। तो दोनों में हमने इसे क्या करा, एंगल्स के साथ क्या किया, मल्टीप्लाई कर दिए। तो z क्यूब आपके पास cos पाई प्लस आई साइन ऑफ पाई आया है, z क्यूब की वैल्यू आ गई आपके पास -1, क्योंकि cos पाई जो होता है -1 और साइन पाई की वैल्यू 0। तो आपका स्टेप 3 कंप्लीट होते होते आपका पूरा क्वेश्चन भी क्या हो जाएगा, सॉल्व हो जाएगा। सो दिस इज द वे वी हैव टू कंप्लीट, इट्स अ 3-step प्रोसीजर। ऑलवेज रिमेंबर दिस थिंग, यू नीड नॉट टू गो फॉर एनी अदर थिंग। रिमेंबर व्हेन वी हैव टू गो फॉर द फाइंडिंग द पावर, व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, फर्स्ट फाइंड द पोलर फॉर्म, second find the raise the power, third use the De Moivre theorem. Now substitute the values and you will get answer. Okay, it's correct. Let us go for the next question. In the next question, what we are going to do, that I'm not going to find here some power. Here he has given the value of complex number. He is asking some identity to prove that identity. Okay, he has not asked you, it is based upon polar form, it is based upon exponential form. He is not saying how to solve. He is saying prove this is equal to this. So when the angles are involved, cos of theta plus I sin theta, this polar form is involved here and the powers are involved. Polar form is there, powers are there. So use De Moivre's theorem. Use De Moivre's theorem. Okay, let us try to solve this problem. Solution. We know z equals to cos of theta plus I of sin theta. Then z raised to power n, raised to power n on both sides, cos theta plus I of sin theta raised to power n. Use De Moivre's theorem. Z raised to power n. In De Moivre theorem, the power become multiplier of angle. Multiplier of angle. Remember this thing. I am stressing it again and again. So z raised to power n, this one is known to us. Make it as 1. Equation 1. Let us evaluate now 1 upon z. In here we need this and this. Let us evaluate now. Let us evaluate 1 upon z raised to power n. Okay, 1 upon z raised to power n. Z equals to cos of theta plus I of sin theta. 1 upon z is equals to 1 upon cos of theta plus I of sin theta. Raised to power n, 1 upon zn, 1 upon cos of theta plus I sin theta and raised to power n. Okay. Now 1 upon z raised to power n can be written as 1 upon cos of n theta plus I of sin n theta. Here we have used use of De Moivre's theorem. Okay, so 1 upon z raised to power n is equals to 1 upon cos of n theta plus I of n theta. It is not in the perfect form. Okay, if you check this complex number, 1 upon cos of n theta plus I of sin of n theta. Let us try to solve it further as 1 upon cos of n theta plus I of sin n theta. Let us rationalize it. Cos of n theta minus I of sin n theta upon cos of n theta minus I of sin of n theta. So this will be cos of n theta minus I of sin n theta upon cos of n theta one bracket, and then this is cos of n theta minus I of sin n theta. Okay, here the number was not in the standard form. So what I have done? I have tried to rationalize it. Rationalization I am doing here. Okay, so this is a plus b and here it is a minus b. So we can write it as 1 upon z raised to power n equals to cos of n theta minus I of sin n theta upon cos square n theta minus I square and sin square n theta. 1 upon z raised to power n equals to cos of n theta minus I sin of n theta upon cos square n theta, and this I square equals to minus 1 minus is already there, plus sin square n theta. Again cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. So cos square of n theta plus sin square of n theta is equals to 1. So 1 upon z raised to power n is equals to cos of n theta minus I of sin n theta. This lower power, this will become 1. Now what was our target? Our target is z raised to power n plus 1 upon z raised to power n. Let us substitute the values. We have already evaluated. Z raised to power n is equals to cos of n theta plus I of sin n theta plus 1 upon z raised to power n is cos of n theta minus I of sin n theta. This is the value of z raised to power n, this entire. Okay, and 1 upon z raised to power n, it is having this value cos of n theta minus sin of n theta. Let us put it in one circle. Now when we add this and this will cancel out, so this becomes 2 cos of n theta. This is what was asked in the question, that if z raised to power n plus 1 upon z raised to power n must be equals to 2 cos of n theta is equal to 2 cos of n theta. Hence z raised to power n plus 1 upon z raised to power n is equals to 2 cos of n theta proved. Okay, so this part is completed. Now let us go for the second part, where we have to calculate, where we want to find out that what was the second part? Yes, now we want to calculate z raised to power n, z raised to power n minus 1 upon z raised to power n is equals to 2i sin of n theta. Okay, so we have to find out these two values, so keep this in mind. Let us try to prove the second part of this question. We have already evaluated. We have already evaluated z raised to power n is equals to what was cos of n theta plus I of sin n theta. And what was the value of 1 upon z raised to power n? It was cos of n theta minus I sin of n theta. And instead of adding, we have to here subtract. So z raised to power n minus 1 upon z raised to power n is equals to cos of n theta plus I of sin n theta minus cos of n theta minus I of sin n theta is equals to cos of n theta plus I sin of n theta minus cos of n theta, because here the minus sign will change, plus I sin of n theta. Now this cos of n theta and this minus cos of n theta, they will cancel. So you will get only this term, I of sin n theta plus I of sin n theta is equals to 2I sin of n theta. Hence, z raised to power n minus 1 upon z raised to power n is equals to 2I sin of n theta proved. Okay, enough for today. Next time we will come with some next question, next topic, more problems, more help. Okay, till then, bye.